welcome back. It's nice to see you again.
Likewise, Doc.
So, anything you'd like to speak up on?
Well, there's something that's been bothering me the last couple of weeks.
Oh. Do you feel comfortable speaking about it?
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal, but...
If it really is bothering you that much, then don't be afraid to speak up on it. Even if you think it's something minor.
Well, there's this game.
Game?
Yeah, a game, like a video game. I knew this would be dumb to talk about.
No. Carry on.
You sure?
Of course. You're here so we can help sort your problems. Even the ones that seem a bit wild.
Okay then. So, there's this game that's been popping up in the back of my head, and I can't seem to forget about it.
Is it something you dislike?
Yeah, it's something that I have a long history with. For the longest time, it's been popping up here and there. And right when I'm about to forget it... I just want to move on, you know?
I see. Well, what's the name of the game?
The name?
Yes, the name.
Okay, it's not really that popular, but it's a game called Smite.
Oh, I've heard of Smite.
Really?
Yeah, my patients talk about it all the time, and positively too.
Oh, well, I'm not one of those people. In fact, I would actually be on the opposite end and say that I despise it.
Oh, why is that?
Doc, I don't really want to talk about it. I just want to forget the game forever.
Why? I'd say it's a good game.
Wait, you've played it before? I thought you just heard about it.
No, I just heard it was really good.
Okay. Well, the game itself isn't that bad, it's just... Look, can you just help me move on with the game, please?
Well, I think you just got to accept it.
What?
Yeah, just accept it as a part of you.
Doc, this game is the equivalent to a toxic relationship for me.
Well, sometimes in these toxic relationships, the good outshines the bad, you know.
Is that a joke? Doc, you don't understand. This game has taken so much from me. My time, my money, my pride, and I can't escape from it. It appears in the back of my mind every time, and it feels like it's pulling me back into it. And I don't know if I can hold off any longer.
Then accept it.
What?
Give in to the game. Accept it as who you are. Even if you can't run from it, join it.
Ah, fuck this. I'm getting out of here.
Well, I'm afraid I can't let that happen.
Son of a bitch. Alright, fine. Kill me. I'd rather die than continue playing this game. I'd rather die than continue playing that piece of shit game made by you fucking psychos!
Now, let's not get hasty. We added something you might like.
There is literally nothing you can do to convince me.
Well, yeah, we added some VTuber skins to the game.
Are you serious?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, it's the fan favorite, Iron Mouse.
I mean, that's cool and all, but one, I hate playing the gods that have those skins, and two, I'm not spending any more money on that game. Is this really the best you have?
Well, yes, we added a whale to the game.
A whale. A goddamn whale.
Yes, a whale.
Is he even big?
What? No.
So this is what you think is gonna draw me back?
Yeah, you love this game, don't you?
Ah, screw it, I got nothing else better to do. Smite. My lovely old pal. Fuck this game. If you can't tell, then me and Smite have a very long and complicated relationship. Now, all I have to do is say one sentence, and a lot of you will relate to how I'm feeling. Smite is a MOBA. Yes, I know. That information alone tells you how bad it is. But honestly, at its core, Smite and most MOBAs are really not that bad. If you're new, that is. Especially with Smite's unique features, as it's in third person instead of a top-down view. This game has not only ripped hundreds of dollars from me, but also took away so many hours of my time. As like most MOBAs, Smite is free. It's free on every platform as well. That is not an invite to play this game, by the way.
No. Wait. Wait.
Now, I've always been a PlayStation boy my whole life, and started on the PS3, playing the Black Ops 1 campaign over and over again, and being too scared to play zombies by myself. However, I was broke and I had no money, and had to rely on my older brothers to buy games, and eventually they got Black Ops 2 and GTA 5, and I begged my mom to buy Minecraft.
Killing me! Get the fuck out of my room! I'm playing Minecraft!
Suffice to say, I had a pretty good time growing up while gaming. Anyway, skip forward a little bit to the release of the PS4. Okay, well, a little bit more forward. Because in this year, Black Ops 3 and Rainbow Six Siege released. And you know what I did with those two games? I barely played one. Knockout! And the other, I sucked hundreds of hours into. I was pretty much burnt out on games. Specifically FPS games, as I've pretty much played them my whole life. But throughout the years, I saw one game stick out occasionally. Picture this. It's 2013, and Smosh made a new channel called Smosh Games. They released 2 videos on Smite in that year. This new game that allows you to play as gods. You can make Cupid fight Zeus. And the game looks alright, I guess, for 2013 standards. Okay, it was pretty ugly. For those who played Smite, this was when Arachne could jump on people's heads and eat them. Yeah, that was a thing back then. Tangent aside, I wasn't really interested in the game that much. I mean, look at it. Fast forward next year and the game officially releases, and looks way better. Smosh Games uploads 2 videos on the game, and this time, it catches my attention. Because kids actually had that back in the day, believe it or not. The game actually looked fun, and I really wanted to play it. But it was a PC exclusive. So I sat there playing Black Ops 2, which was still pretty fun to be honest. Especially the zombies, but we're not here to talk about that. Smosh continued making more videos on the game, and I sat there with anticipation. And this time with the announcement that it's being released on the Xbox. They also got a Zeus skin that I really liked for some reason. However, around the time I got burnt out on FPS games, a beacon of light came down. It finally released on PlayStation. On PS4 at least. Smite was finally playable on the PS4, and it was free. And I will stand by this no matter how much I feel about the game right now. Smite was the best free game during that time. There was no Overwatch 2, no Fortnite, Apex, and no Battle Royale game that would die in a couple of months. It was Smite that sat on the throne. Well, if you're on PS4. I don't know if Xbox had any good free games at that time, but PC of course still had Team Fortress 2. So yeah, it really just sat on a throne that happened to be on a pile of trash. But either way, I was hyped.
Yeah, bitch!
Finally, something that wasn't an FPS. This was in 2016 by the way, so right when Overwatch released, Smite came out. But I didn't really care about that because it was an FPS. I say that, but I enjoyed the beta and went on to buy the game a couple months later. After a while, Smite became my most played game of all time, with over 1,000 hours invested into it. Now I know what you're thinking. One is, only 1,000 hours? That's nothing compared to my 3,000. Which, fine, but is it really a flex to have over 3,000 hours into a game? Especially this one? And 2, why do you hate the game so much now? Well, remember when I said I got burnt out on FPS games? Yeah, well, eventually Smite had its time as well. But I still played it, just not as much as I did before. I eventually quit Black Ops 3 and started playing more Overwatch, but for some reason, Smite still stuck around. it was there to comfort me. Well, comfort me by beating me up and then proceeding to tell me that was all for my own good. But either way, it was there and I still played it. Though as time went on, it became less and less. I started getting back into Rainbow, which I heavily regret, and I began buying other games as well. And eventually, even Smite got lost in the way. Especially when Fortnite came out. For a good while, Smite disappeared from my memory, until when me and my friends were bored of all other games, and we looked through the free section because we were broke. And there it was. And to this day, I still play it. Not nearly as much, but there are still periods where I play it all day with my friends. Wow, that was a lot to unload. Let's talk about Smite now. Before we get negative, you should probably know how the game works. In case you want to try it out since it is free, and so that you have a general understanding of the game. I think this tape should be good enough. So you want to get into Smite, huh? I sure hope not, but in case you want to lose some brain cells, here's the basics. And what? No, I don't sound like the other guy, shut up, we're different. You play as gods. Wow. Or not, because Mulan and Guan Yu are here. Okay, redo. You play as characters that appear in many pantheons and mythologies. These characters have assigned roles to them, that which there are 5 of. Assassins, mages, hunters, warriors, and guardians. However, there are 2 types of damages these roles have. Mages and guardians are magical, while hunters, assassins, and warriors are physical. These correlate with the items you can buy in-game. Items just make you stronger, that's it. You have 4 abilities, one being your ult. Starting at a low level when you first spawn, you can upgrade your abilities each time you level up. Also, please turn off auto upgrade, just do it yourself. It's better, trust me. This goes for auto buy as well. Don't use that shit. Just use the popular section. Speaking of buying, throughout the game you earn gold passively or by killing minions and other gods. Now what are minions? Minions are basically resources or human sacrifices. They're also like really strong early game for some reason. Look, it's a MOBA, do I really have to tell you about the mechanics of everything? Now then, let's quickly explain each role. Assassins are your flankers. They typically are very movement based and have high damaging abilities and basic attacks as well. The cost of this, however, is that they typically have low health. Typically. Basically, if they want to kill, they're either dying, getting a kill, or dying with you. Next are mages, and these guys are the glass cannons. Typically very weak health-wise, but have extremely high damaging abilities. These guys are a menace at any point of the game, and one wrong move against them and you can easily be destroyed the next second. They usually prioritize range. Usually. Next are hunters, or ADCs as League players would call them. They're tank busters that are focused on ranged basic attacks, and they can easily dispatch almost every role in the game. Only one they cannot is mages, unless you see a mage use all their abilities, in which case they're free game. Guardians are the tanks that trade damage for the ability to be really fucking annoying. Most of their abilities involve pissing off the enemy team and saving your teammates. By the way, do you remember when I said they don't do damage? I lied about that. Most Guardians in this game can build tank and still crush the enemy team in their palm. Albeit slowly, but unless you're a hunter or have a tank killing build, you're pretty much fucked. Pro tip, it's not really viable and can easily make you lose the game, but if you want to max out fun in this game, then go damage Guardian. You'll either A, have the best time of your life, or B, have a miserable time and wish you never listened to my advice. You're welcome, by the way. And finally, warriors. Warriors are pretty much physical guardians, but their kits cater more to survivability and damage. Basically, selfish guardians. And yes, they have the guardian effect of being unkillable and steamrolling your team. Except worse, because they don't have to worry about their teammates. If you don't care about your team and just want to fight enemies, then play warrior. Each role has a wide variety of characters with pretty distinct abilities. Unless you're playing mage. Most of it feels the same, to be honest. There are a lot of characters in this game, and you're bound to find one to main eventually. And if you do, please don't end up like one of these guys. I'll give you a hint on how. Go outside. Alright, with that out of the way, let's talk about the game modes, and boy, do I really hate and love these. Mostly hate these. Okay, so first, let's get the most simple one out of the way, Arena. If you just want to beat the shit out of each other, here's the mode for you. Your goal is 1, kill and get minions through the portal on the other side, and 2, kill the other gods. First one to reach 0 tickets loses. That's it. It's the most simple and fun game mode. Occasionally a giant minion will spawn, and when it gets through the portal, it'll take away like 15 tickets, and it's pretty much a comeback mechanic. My only problem with this game mode is that it's usually either a stomp, or you're getting stomped. It's pretty rare to get an equal game, so cherish it when you do. Next is Conquest. Oh god.
Alright, I gotta leave, okay?
John, we just started. Come on, man.
Listen, there's a lot to see in this life. Not wasting it here.
Listen, it's the game mode, alright? It's the game mode. It's basically League, but in Smite. There's jungles, there's towers, there's 3 lanes. It's literally the game mode that you should probably play, but I don't fuck with it. I'll be straight, I don't like Conquest. It feels like ranked even though it isn't. You have to communicate so much, and if you miss a beat, then get ready for the team to berate you about it. Did I mention this was a MOBA? Yeah, it's toxic here as well. Not that much to be honest, but you'll get some from time to time, and it can get really fucking annoying. Okay, I'll explain the basics and only the basics. You probably already know these. There are 3 lanes, duo, mid, and solo. And between these 3 lanes are 2 giant jungles. If you played MOBAs, then you know what these are. Mages are mid, guardians and hunters are duos, warriors are solo, and assassins are jungle. Throughout the lanes are towers that must be destroyed to progress, and in the jungles are buffs and camps to farm. At the end of each side of the map is the Titan, the final stand. The goal is to kill the Titan and boom, you win. There's a lot more to the map of course, but I don't really know how to explain it, to be honest. A cool part about Conquest is that the map changes every season, so it's always going to be different, both looks and mechanic wise. If you like Conquest, that's fine, but I'm a casual who likes to chill most of the time, and yes, I liked Clash, alright? Now, next is the fan favorite Joust. Joust is like a baby version of Conquest. A big difference though is that it's 3v3 instead of 5v5, and there is only 1 lane and usually 1 jungle. It's just a chill game mode to play in, and communication is key, but you have to do it with 2 other players instead of 4. It has the same goals as Conquest, but just on a smaller map. It's perfect. Okay, so now we're moving on to the ugly cousin of the family, Slash. I have a very conflicting relationship with this game mode. It's the game mode I play the most due to it being 5v5, but also has a shorter map than Conquest. It's basically a bigger version of Joust, but there's just one key difference. These fuckers are so annoying, and I understand their purpose, but they can get so overwhelming. Not only are they tanky as hell, but can also teleport players from their spawn to where the Juggernaut is. Which means someone can just be low, back out, and then immediately be back in the fight at full health. I don't like the teleport feature, and while it speeds up the game, it feels extremely unfair at times. You can trap players though, which is funny. Oh yeah, did I mention that there can be multiple of these guys on the map? And 2 in the same lane if you're unlucky. A tower is falling if that happens, just saying. Next is...
Here comes the
Assault.
Ah, my beloved Assault. It's easily the best, and it's also the worst game mode in the game. Okay, here's the rundown. Same goal as the others, but this time there's 1 lane, and you can't go back to spawn to heal up or buy items. And character selection is random. This game mode is a complete shit show and can go from stomps to nail-biting matches where you barely win or lose. You failed! and it also gives you a chance to play characters you would never even think about playing. There are also characters that are straight up not built for this game mode.
Wow, what a tough fight. She nearly killed me. Guess I'll just chill and rest up.
And finally, match of the day. Imagine a random game mode each day with very wacky changes to the mechanics of the game, such as infinite gold, reduced cooldowns, random gods, 2-player joust, 2-player assault, or all of this crammed into one game mode. It's clearly a game mode just to have fun, so don't take it too seriously.
What the fuck?
Okay, you got the basics of everything down. Now, let me explain why I went from loving this game to despising it. In a multiplayer game, a lot of issues can happen. This can go from network being bad to poorly implemented gameplay. But there's also a bigger issue than all of this.
Pretty, isn't it? Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Balancing.
I used the uses 12 frags. And I would do it again.
You pussy.
Balancing is a difficult thing to discuss. People can have different opinions on balancing, and it makes it hard for developers to implement that into the game. For example, on Overwatch, I hate Mercy. I play on console, and her movement jump cancel thing is extremely hard to follow. I have met players who have the same mindset, but there are also others who think she should be buffed. I disagree. Not even respectfully. Fuck that character. So it's hard for developers to take feedback from multiple players with different opinions, and use that to balance the game. No matter what, people are going to be disappointed. It's just up to the devs to choose what they think is right. And to this day, I don't think they're right. Okay, let's get this out of the way. I am not a casual Smite player anymore. What I am trying to say is that this is no longer the opinion of someone who plays Smite a lot. Instead, it's from someone who used to play this game every day, and now just plays it occasionally from time to time. I'm nowhere near as good as I was before, and things can change massively in a couple of months due to nerfs or buffs. However, the issues I'm going to be talking about come from the experience I had years ago that still linger today. This is also coming from a player who hasn't really played much of Conquest, and Conquest is the game mode people play. It's not my thing and never has been. Okay, with that out of the way, let's just dive first into Guardians. I mentioned it a little before, but holy shit, do they deal an unnecessary amount of damage. And this is from a build with barely any damage items. While they usually have poor escape methods, they do a surprising amount of damage. Cerberus does a lot. Cthulhu, yes, he's in the game, and he's really strong. Ganesha, you already know what I'm gonna say. Also, they probably have some of the weirdest gimmicks in the game. Jormungandr literally can't be moved, and has 2 great escape options.
Huh?
Charon has an ult that not only takes up the entire lane, but also goes across the whole map. And on Joust, it's pretty unfair since the map is just that short. Kumbhakarna's whole purpose is to stunlock you until you go into a psychiatric ward. And I get how Guardians are supposed to help their teammates and create windows for kills, but don't you think it's a little bit too much at times? It's really just not fun to play against. And even while I was playing Guardian and getting footage for this, I would often feel really bad for the enemy team. Warriors basically have the same problems as Guardians, but arguably worse, since their kits focus more on surviving while killing the whole enemy team. Vamada can go from a little baby man to an unkillable titan, which seems cool at first until you play against him. Also, there are so many annoying gods in this game. Besides Guardians, which their whole, like, utility is being annoying, which you can give them a pass for that, but for mages, Aphrodite is literally the mercy of this game. And by that comparison, I fucking hate her. Her ult literally makes her and the person she's tethering immune to everything. And that's fucking stupid. I hate immortality shit. Like, seriously, in Overwatch, Kiriko and Baptiste are some of my most hated fucking heroes to fight against because it's just really annoying. Poseidon is also really annoying with his ability to just slow down everyone, and if he ults you, you're most likely dead. And then you have Nuwa, who has a guaranteed hit on everyone on the map and shows their location as well. So unless you have Aegis or some move that can heal you or shield you, you're pretty much screwed half the time. We haven't even talked about items yet, which is a whole other can of worms that I just don't want to get into. Going back to gods, Persephone is just infuriating to fight against. I feel like I'm in Plants vs. Zombies whenever I match against her, and I'm the zombie. No one wants to be the zombie.
Brains.
I can go on and on about the bullshit moves in this game, but my main point is that so many abilities are just really annoying to fight against. It's not fun to see a god on the enemy team and immediately have your whole mood drop in a second. I understand that devs have to balance both characters and items, and there's a lot of them, but oh my god, there are so many stuns in this game. And by stuns, I mean moves that make your character unable to do anything. Okay, so those were just the characters. Surely that's all I dislike about this game, right? Skins are the most popular ways that free games are able to survive, but the prices for most of these are just so inflated. Most skins in the game cost 1,200 gems. Sometimes you get 750 and sometimes even less, but most of the time it's 1,200. Now let's go to the store to see how much it costs to buy a skin. $25 for 1,500.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Surely there's a cheaper alternative, right? Well, if you look at the $15 bundle, it says 800 gems. Ooh! Not enough for the sleek new skins. But if you spend $8, you can get 400 gems. $22 for a skin. That's the lowest you can go. And there are a shit ton of characters in this game. Don't worry though, there are cheaper ways to get the skins you want. You just gotta gamble for them. In the store are these chests that not only have the skin you may want, but also skins that you probably don't care about either. And also a stupid ass bundle that is just there so you have a chance to get it and have to roll again. While being usually half the price, most of the time you're not going to get the skin you want. There's also the Odyssey. Every year, the game releases the premium skin of that year, a tier 5 skin. It usually has an amazing design and cool effects as well. But the problem is that they cost $100. Why? Why did they cost so much? Well, you see, in the Odyssey are also a bunch of skins, and they are bundled with the premium skin. I mean, you could buy the skin by itself, but it costs the same, so you're really just losing more than saving. So in reality, these skins are worth $100 to the eyes of high-res. Yeah, let me give you a heads up. No skin is worth that fucking much. I mean, to be fair, it is pretty cool, and can change designs mid-game. But $100, man, what the fuck? There's also a battle pass, because of course there is. The battle pass is... it's shit. It used to be alright, but the current one is just complete ass. You get 2 skins, and a couple of free skin chests. Oh, you don't get to pick the skin you want, by the way. You also get 400 gems if you get through the whole thing. And this thing costs 800 gems. $15 for not even some decent skins. I mean, the last one's alright, but you have to grind the whole thing to get it. And the whole thing is 90 levels. 90 fucking levels for this. No need to worry though, because there is a way to get free gems. Just log in every day, and on the 6th and 7th day, you'll get 15 and 35 gems. So 50 gems per week. They also might give out free gems through events, if they're generous, or if there's something happening like a birthday anniversary or whatever. But that only happens like 2 times a year. I mean, this year's Odyssey did give you free chests for playing the game, but these chests are literally loot boxes with the most random stuff in it. You can get either voice packs, skins, or even ward skins, aka more shit to fill out the chests so you don't get what you want. The only good part about gems is that they can go on sale, usually during or before an event happens in the game. They're 33% off, but I would argue that these should just be the normal prices for the gems in the first place. Still too expensive, but not nearly as was before. The $100 bundle literally goes down to near $60. Oh yeah, there's also unlimited skins. They're overpriced too. And before you say that Valorant has more expensive stuff, or it costs around the same as any other free game like Overwatch, I'm not debating that. What I am arguing is that these skins cost too fucking much in the first place, and most people are just conditioned to it being this high. For example, the heirlooms from Apex. Those are also way too expensive, and yet people buy that shit up like it's nothing. Talking to you, Noah. And I don't think it's ever going to change, as sad as that is. I'm not saying that Fortnite has the best currency and shop in the industry, but it's definitely better than most of the other garbage. For example, their Battle Pass actually gives you enough money to buy the next one, and a little extra for stuff in the shop. So yeah, there is my rant on the skin prices in Smite, and just in gaming in general. Now, throughout the video, you might have asked yourself, why are you making this video if you hate the game so much? Or, why is this guy so annoying? In that case, I kinda agree with you. That guy is really annoying. Hey, what the hell? Well, to answer the first question, I got 2 answers. One was just to experiment video formats, and 2, to send this game off. No, the game isn't gonna die by me uploading this video. These complaints have been hovering around the game for years. But for me, I'm just done playing this game. Whenever I was recording gameplay for this video, I really wasn't having that much fun. In fact, most of it was dreadful. No! And it kinda hurt. A game that I was really into in the past just doesn't click with me anymore. And that's fine. I've seen friends and content creators that I cherished move on from this game as well. And now I think my time has come. No matter how much I hate about it now, it doesn't take away the time I invested into it, even if I regret most of it. Why couldn't I get in like Timefall or something like that?
Oh my god, I hit it! Double kill, baby!
I mean, it's not like I'll never play this game again, like the example I used in the beginning. If Smite adds stuff I'm interested in, I'll bite and see what's going on. But when it comes to playing this game for longer than a couple of days, or spending money on it, that time is thankfully over. It'll always be there in the back of my mind, but it's time I move on. Well, what do you know? Smite 2 got announced while I was editing this. That is the second time this has happened, by the way. First time was Dredge when they released a DLC, and now Smite. Okay, so before we talk about the big Smite 2 announcement, first, let's talk about something else that I gave a little hint to in the monetization part. So while editing this, Smite actually came out with a Year 11 celebration, where if you played 11 games, you get the Battle Pass, you get 11 chests, 11 boosters, and also you can choose any tier 4 skin that you want. Which, to be honest, is really generous. They've done this before, but I did not expect to see it this soon again. However, when you also time it up with the announcement of Smite 2, it seems pretty, like they were trying to soften the landing for Smite 2 by putting this out. Because it can't be a birthday event since it came out in March. And we're in January. This is literally the beginning of the year. And the timing with Smite 2, I feel like this was done on purpose. But either way, it's still pretty nice. So we'll give that to you, Hi-Rez. Now, Smite 2. Honestly, I'm kinda interested in it. Now, obviously, this is just an Overwatch 2 copy. It's literally called Smite 2.
I don't know, man.
But unlike Overwatch 2, it seems like they actually have some really major changes this time. One big change is that every god in the game can now use every item in the item shop. And the item shop got a gigantic overhaul. It looks more like the League shop now, and apparently is much easier to navigate, which is a nice quality of life change. Another big change is that items have been put into 2 categories: Intelligence and Strength. Intelligence, I'm guessing, is more just ability based, and Strength is obviously, basic tech based. Relics are also getting reworked, And also some items apparently have abilities that you can use now, such as Blink, which was originally a relic, now is an amulet that you can buy as an item. Which, to be honest, I don't really like. I think they should have kept Blink as a relic. The game went from Unreal Engine 3 to 5, which is a massive leap, and it does look better, but not really that much. Animation wise though, it looks way better, like you can actually see the characters doing stuff. Some characters are also getting reworks, like Ymir. Ymir can now jump off of his wall, which seems really fucking weird, but hey, I'll take it, that seems really cool. You can also run Crit Ymir. That's right, Crit Ymir. Fucking Crit Ymir. However, while that does seem cool, we do have big problems in this announcement. Skins from Smite 1 won't transfer to Smite 2.
Say it again, say it to my fucking face.
Now to me, I don't have that much of an issue since the skins I have, I either got by accident or I completely regret. But others, especially those who bought tier 5 skins, they just got robbed. Apparently, it would take them 246 years to import the skins, which, really? You can take that as facts or not, I obviously don't, I think that's ridiculous. But at least they've come up with some kind of system to recompensate all the people who spent money on this game. And that's with Legacy Gems. You will be compensated in Legacy Gems for every gem you spent on Smite 1. And Legacy Gems can only be used for 50% of in-game purchases in Smite 2. The items that are spent with Legacy Gems are also 50% off. And that will be until you spend all of your Legacy Gems. Now, that is kind of cool, but what the hell is the other 50%? Is this Overwatch 2 where you can't spend legacy stuff on new shop items? Which in that case, that really does suck. So while this does seem like a cool system, we won't fully know until the game comes out. Another thing veterans can get is Divine Legacy, and to be honest, it's actually pretty cool. You get skins for the stuff you did in Smite, like how long you played, or what characters you ranked up. While free skins are cool, these are literally just reskins of already existing ones. I mean, some of them do have a little bit of a difference, but either way it's pretty unnoticeable. It's not all bad news though, since Smite 1 will still exist, unlike Overwatch 2. So all your money spent on Smite 1 will not be gone and will just not be evaporated. If they did that, that would literally be a crime. Smite 1 will probably not be updated though, sadly. There is good news though, since you'll get a free tier 4 and tier 5 skin when Smite 2 launches. Which is pretty big. A free tier 5 skin? That's the most generous thing they've probably done. I wish I was making that up. Not every god will be in Smite 2, by the way. Apparently it has something to do with porting issues, but I don't know why they just don't, hold off until they can get like majority of the roster in. Which is the main thing I'm worried about. Like, all this stuff looks really cool and all, but my main issue is that I feel like they're just rushing this. Like the fact that not all skins are going to be in the game, not every existing character is going to be in the game as well, just makes me really worried about the overall state of it. The game looks interesting, I'll give it that, but the monetization is probably still going to be scummy, and they should at least port the tier 5 skins to Smite 2, considering that people spent hundreds on those skins. Because if Smite 2 is better than the first, then that would really be a gut punch to the people who spent money on the game. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the game. Yeah, let's just end it. Recording this has literally been like one of the worst things I've ever experienced. So that was Smite, and that honestly felt really satisfying to say all of that. If you want to try the game out yourself, be my guest. As I've said before, it's not a bad game at its core, just one that needs a lot of polishing but will probably never be done. If you enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe. The next video will be a little bit different since the topic won't be about a game, well, kinda. To anyone who watched the previous video, please tell me how you feel about this one. As I said in the last one, these videos will just be a different format. They won't always be about something I hate, but just something I feel really emotional about, good or bad. That'll be all for me though. If you enjoyed this, then feel free to check out my video on Dredge, a really cool horror game that I really go into detail about. Wait, how do I end these again? Huh?